So when I was actually, I wish Atin was here for this because it would just be hilarious to get his side. So basically, what happened was, right? So when I was visiting Atin, he had told his parents some of the stories about me, right? Like about my family life, because he knows how his mom can get with people, and so he's like, all right, well, don't do these following things because that might do stuff to Sneaky, and you don't want that. So he told him a bunch of stories, and then his mother tried to overcompensate and like really tried to hover over me and was like, "Oh, do you need this? Do you need any of this? And do you need any of that? Can we get you this?" I'm like, And so then he had to run interference again. He's like, "Mom, stop, please. You're scaring him now." Adults don't look out for him. This is new material for him.
This is uncharted territory. Cease.
Mythical beings. Adults that actually care.
I'm sorry, what the fuck was that sign? Did you just like scream into the void?
Sine wave.
I guess so. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, tonight is Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9006 night. It is episode 17. Can you believe that? Can you believe that?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But anyway. So I got my trusty bottle of Aquavit next to me. And we're going to start on Ranma tonight. And specifically because Sign here said some dumb words.
Oh, I said some dumb words.
You said some dumb words.
I said some brilliant words.
No, you said... Oh, what was the exact phrasing of that statement of yours?
I said that the tranny community would flip out and shit a brick over Ranma if it was made in the modern day because he can change back and forth.
Yes. I don't think that was the exact wording, though, was it?
No, that's combining several statements into one.
Yeah. We're looking for words from me. Now, what section was that even in?
I'll find it. Let's see.
Oh, god damn it. Discord's doing that thing again where it's not allowing me to search.
There you go.
What fucking garbage is that?
Let's see.
I think this isn't story crafting.
Nah, memes.
Oh, it was definitely memes. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'll just copy the message link for you. It's in the 9K channel if you want to click it.
That's very cool. Probably should get rid of that link, though.
It's fine, who cares? And like, if they're on that server, they can see it. If they are, they can't. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll just kind of do nothing for anyone that's not
on
the
like
server.
Schizophrenically. Some shit.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, they would shit a brick because he can change back and forth because he hates it. Yeah. I feel like that's edited, but it's not. It didn't say edited, so I guess it's not edited. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Schizophrenic memory.
Schizophrenic memory, indeed. Anyway, point being though is the transgender community did shit a brick, but not quite in the direction you would think. So how best to phrase this without being banned from Twitch?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
So there is a certain population of individuals of overlapping interests, loosely defined word interest. No, I'm loosely defining the word interest. Because I don't know if you can really call yourself a Ranma fan if you do the following. So what these Ranma, air quotes, fans did to make Ranma a queer icon is that they would write stories of what a very popular one was taking the trope of Ranma was a girl all along and really writing it like it would show up in a New York bestsellers list for women.
Yeah.
Sounds accurate.
That's the most diplomatic way I can phrase that. They would include other such tropes, such as, oh, what if Ranma got drugged into being a girl and then realized they were really a girl all along, air quotes. What if, Ranma kissed a guy one day and then realized they were gay and then realized they weren't gay, they were actually a girl. Just the really, really generic fangirl fantasy tropes. And then
dumb shit.
Yeah, and then you mash them together with everything wrong with the idolization of the queer community. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. And it produced some really fucking horrible stories.
Imagine that.
And I don't mean horrible as in grammatically horrible or as in like it was poorly written. I mean these were decently written with decent grammar, but the plot line was just it was like watching back in the days of Live Leak. It was like It was like hitting newest on Live Leak, and you just don't know what you're gonna get.
Oh no.
When the Chinese steelworker sees the Live Leak logo in the corner of his eye.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, effectively it was like that where you're like, okay, so it's some grainy footage. It looks like it's taking place in a factory, so it's probably not going to be porn. It's probably going to be death. Oh, I didn't know the human spine could bend that way.
It exploded real good.
Yeah, so that's what became of the Ranma section. So we're gonna dip our toe in that real quick, just so everyone can experience that.
Okay, so it used to be good. Even the occasional lockfic that turned up that wasn't complete dog shit. Yeah, there were some of those that were actually really good and had a lot of thought put into them and were pulled off really well. It's just that it's devolved into trash.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Yep, pretty much that. So we'll scoot on over to that section now. We will take off the curtain. We will take up. Get the fuck into the window. We will take off the curtain.
I hope that's the only technical difficulty tonight.
Well, I made sure we started, so.
Yeah. Doesn't mean you're broadcasting.
Page not found. What do you mean, page not found? Wait, what do you mean that my forum post has been deleted?
Oh no.
Wait, what happened?
the fuck? Why can't I post a picture?
Oh.
This
right there.
band.
Well, no. If I refresh the page, it's right there. Okay, what the fuck? So I'm trying to answer someone's question they asked me because they're trying to help me with macros for the upcoming Roll20 campaign, and I have no fucking idea how fucking macros work. You know, it's like goddamn.
Lol. Lamau.
Now even.
Yeah. Okay, what if I just clipboard doesn't contain an image?
Amazing.
Okay. Paste. Expand canvas. Sure. Save it. Ah! Saved. Cool. Okay. Just gonna exit that out, and we're just gonna link that now. And then should be good to go. Question mark? I swear, I hate technology. I hate technology. I hate technology.
And yet you work in the field.
Yeah, that's why I hate technology.
Calm down.
Alright, so and then we hit this button here. Okay, great, fantastic. Okay, then we go over to Ranma. Speaking of which, man, I fucking hate my coworker.
No, what to do?
Yeah.
So basically, he didn't show up the past like week because he's like, "Oh, I'm sick today. Oh, my kid's sick today. Oh, my dog's sick today. Oh, I'm sick today again. Wow." And so he didn't show up for the work the past week. And then whenever he did show up for work, he'd be like, "Oh, I'm getting on, guys. Oh, the doctor's appointment's taking longer than I thought now. Oh, I gotta go again." It's like, wait, what? And now this week he got on time, right? Oh no, oh guys, they just cut my power. It's like, bro, come on, man. I am one of 2 people now currently working the phones. We used to have 4.
Oof.
Damn. Is this a new guy?
Oh no, he was here before I was. Yeah. You know, Aquavit is like, it's like drinking air. Like, you don't realize you're drinking it. Like, you hit, like, your mouth feels the surface tension, but you're not getting the liquid.
You don't taste the alcohol?
And then it fucking kicks you in the teeth. You're like, oh, Jesus Christ. You know, this is about what I expect for Norwegian moonshine built inside the Arctic Circle.
You're welcome. Well, subarctic technically, but close enough.
I mean, with how your water flows occur, I mean, you guys get more snow than...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said last time, that specific company distills their alcohol literally 5 kilometers away from where I'm sitting right now. So it's local to me.
Now, I get that Ranma was a comedy romance story, but comedy romance, I heard that. Comedy romance is a little bit different from romantic comedy.
Yeah, the focus is on the comedy, not the romance.
Yeah, and a lot of the Ranma section, a lot of the modern Ranma section, I should say, is a lot of romantic comedy. And they don't even really do the comedy part. They just kind of just just do the romance part, and instead of comedy, they make it hurt comfort. And honestly, this is not what Ranma's for, damn it! The Ranma crossover section, very based. The Ranma non-crossover section, it's filled with fangirl cringe.
Yeah.
Like this one. Falling backwards into love, Ranma realized that she's a girl, which makes dealing with her parents more tiring than ever. This reads like a fucking Zoomer writing it, which it probably is.
Look at the picture, Sneaky.
I know. I know. As she wanders off to get some air, she mutters about wanting to be allowed to be one to herself, and only Kuno was there to hear, and she was in her birth form? Where will this lead? Okay, so Ranma stomps off as a guy, muttering how he wants to be a girl. Kuno overhears it. I mean, you can take that in several directions, and all of them are far more comedic than they are romantic. And I feel like the author, despite labeling this story as a romance humor story, it is very much not a humor story. But we can always click it and see. It is a one-shot, so I'm sure there could be nothing wrong with it.
No bet.
Forcing a smile and pretending she was a boy for them got exhausting. Oh man. Okay, You know what? I'm going to mute the stream and say what I'm gonna say because it's gotta be said. Yes, I am saying the author is writing it incredibly accurately now that we're off the closed mic.
Excellent.
The author is incredibly accurate with their descriptions of characterizations of people.
Certain things.
Yes. I proved I was good enough as a guy, didn't I? She muttered, staring into space. No, there's no such thing as a good enough guy. I hate to break this to you, author.
That is literally Ranma's life, is not being able to prove he's good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She quietly hoped it would rain so that she would have an excuse for being the form she preferred. She let out a quiet sigh. Why can't I just be a girl now? After saying it, she realized with rising horror that she wasn't alone in the park. The sound of something being dropped drew her attention over her shoulder to see him. Of all the people to overhear what she said, and he definitely heard, going by the dumb look on his face. Okay, wait, hold on. Kuno always has a dumb look on his face.
His face is very dumb.
It just had to be him. Kuno Tatewaki. What was he gonna do now? What insult would he jump to first? I mean, honestly, if we're gonna go by the canonization of the characters, if anything, because the story leans more on humor than anything else, this sort of arc would end up with Kuno thinking that actually his prized redhead beauty is being forcefully transformed into the foul sorcerer, and that he has to free her.
Maybe.
Yeah.
On the other hand, counter proposal, he does what he always does and somehow completely ignores it. Like, to the point that Ranma could transform in front of him, and he willfully ignores that it happened.
Oh, yes, absolutely. But the problem here is that the author did point out that he definitely 100% did not ignore it.
Yeah, but his ability to rationalize what he did here is pretty fucking legendary.
Right, which is why I said what I said earlier about how he has to free the red-haired beauty from inside of Ranma or something.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yes, this aquavit is very warming, I will say. Really makes your chest burn.
Well, I mean, you know, Norwegian winters.
Yes, I figured as much.
Kind of helps. Yeah.
Her few days of having slipped over to the Okay, so what I'm going to read now is to what any sane person sounds like a self-own, self-reveal, self-report moment, but to what them sounds like is a liberation moment, right? So I want you all to keep this in mind as I read the following statement.
Okay.
Her past few days of having slipped over to the queer corner of Tokyo had shown her there was lots of insults available to call her now. So what you're saying is that Ranma realized he was a girl after going to the air quotes author quotation marks queer corners of Tokyo. So he goes to a pride parade and realizes he's a girl. Is what the author is saying.
Yep. Also, author, I hate to break it to you, there are no quote-unquote queer corners of Tokyo. That it's just Japan.
I mean, no,
Yeah,
also... keep in mind, we are talking about, like, 1980s Tokyo.
Yeah,
exactly. In 1980s, yeah, that's a different thing. Like, modern day, like, I think you'd find the most quote-unquote queers probably in Harajuku.
Yeah,
but
they're LARPers, man.
Crazy corner. Yeah.
They're LARPers and cross-dressing cosplayers, and that's fucking it.
Also Yuri bait.
That too, yes.
Well, sure.
But, yeah. She could see the gears slowly turning in that head of his, or single gear, considering it was Kuno. I guess that's alright. What did that mean? Kuno Tatewaki. Okay, so this is another critical flaw of ever doing a Ranma story, is never give the perspective of anyone else. Half of the joke of Ranma is the mystery of how everyone else came to the conclusions they did. That's half the joke.
Authors don't get that.
Yeah, I know.
Some authors
don't
do
know all the things.
No kidding.
Look, if they actually got things, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, true.
Fair.
Kuno Tatewaki apparently thinks about himself in third person. Considered himself an educated man. One who had studied his arch rival, the oft deceptive Satome Ranma, in depth. He had been sure he'd understood every aspect of him, only to be thrown such a curveball. Yet was this not a weakness presenting itself? Despite the fiery hearts of a Cain and the pig-tailed goddess, he was still clear a woman was less of a warrior than a man. Author's quote, not mine.
I'm sorry, repeat that. And a woman was what?
A woman is less of a warrior than a man.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
In fact, Tatewaki was quite certain he had read that those who came upon the path of womanhood in place of being bored into it, we're even more delicate. Holy shit!
Mask the fuck off.
Mask off moment, yes.
Okay, well again, this is the author's words, not mine. Based.
You can't see it, but I'm doing the rock face right now.
The standards of womanhood having been risen for them. If he could nourish this bud of womanhood within his rival, then his victory in the battle for the hearts of his loves would be all but assured. Nay, if Satome was a woman, he wouldn't even need to fight. He could simply stroll in, for neither Atin nor the pigtailed goddess would love Satome as a woman.
So author is saying this, it's dealing with an egg and maturing them into whatever.
You know, I gotta say, when this author labeled it humor, I didn't think it would be funny, but I don't think it's funny for the same reason the author does.
True and real.
Oh. He merely had to reach out his hand. I can assist thee, Tatewaki said. Satome merely stared at first. Clearly, Tatewaki needed to further clarify his offer. I know of many skilled clothers, and couldst afford to purchase thee a term I believe is makeover, if that is something thee wish for, he offered. Wait, so he's gonna transition as a guy too?
Yes, Sneaky. That's what he's saying.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Interesting.
His words.
It took a few moments for Ranma to process what Kuno had said. He just offered to buy her clothing and a makeover, and she knew he had an ulterior motive. He always did with her. He obviously... Wait, she was in her birth form right now. Why was he being nice to her? And did she even want to try while she was like this?
I'm sorry, did you say try?
Yes.
God damn it, author.
To risk looking in the mirror and hating what she saw as a failure of a man pretending to be a woman? Then again, it was free stuff, and she was a Satome. Plus, Konatsu looked plenty pretty. Maybe she could. She nodded. Okay, I mean, thank you.
Interesting.
Oh, God.
Holy shit.
So what you're saying is that the mentally ill person, upon hearing that the protagonist feels like he should be a girl, immediately then set out to groom him into a girl.
Yes, because that would then permit him to rape Atin and the pig-tailed goddess freely, because they are less of a warrior than him, and no one would stop him.
Yeah, wow, that is some, woo!
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting.
There's some interesting opinions, author.
It says a lot, actually.
Yes. Some interesting opinions. Also, yeah, Konatsu is like, I'm honestly shocked that people don't, like, jump on that one.
Konatsu's a fucking cross-dresser, but he and everyone else knows he's straight and he's got a crush on Ukyo, who, oh yeah, by the way, is also a cross-dresser who happens to be a girl.
I mean, I know, I get that's the joke, is that they're both cross-dressing. I'm pretty sure there was a whole fucking manga about that. One girl was cross-dressing as a guy. I mean, it's pretty common, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty common.
Yeah. In fact, I even remember from my high school days when I had a lot of free time on my hand. I'm remembering a vague recollection of a manga in which it was a guy going to an all-girls school, dressing like a girl, and he ended up meeting this girl who was dressing like a guy, going to an all-guys school, and they collaborated to help each other continue to fake their way through the all one-sex schools, and then they realized they loved each other, and then yeah.
Yeah, I remember hearing that description at one point.
Yeah.
Japan, I
I mean,
swear.
that's just typical Japan humor, though.
Oh, I know.
Like, they're not trying to make a statement about it. They're going, hey, wouldn't this be fucking funny if we did this? And
I mean,
at the time, it was. There was no...
yeah, I mean, admittedly,
agenda.
I mean, the plot itself is highly amusing of this absolutely ridiculous situation being compounded with an equally ridiculous situation, and then it suddenly turns into this fucking Hallmark tier romance comedy movie. Yeah, no, that's great. I love it. It's an amazing premise.
And then we get this trash.
Yeah, and then we get this instead.
Yep.
Tatewaki sat in the small clothing shop. Satome was in the changing area. He had to throw a bit of money to get a woman to accept Satome as a client. But the Kuno family treasury could easily afford it.
Oh.
So he bribed a woman to allow a dude into the female changing room.
Yes. Yes, that... Woo.
Oh. Interesting.
Gee.
Okay.
That's tougher.
Interesting. And so he sat, hoping to see Satome have a moment of joy upon seeing a woman in the mirror, however all that worked. Whatever it was, it would then break the barrier holding a woman within him, and there'd be no going back. He was certain of it.
That sounds familiar.
There we go, one of the shop girls said from behind the back. What do you think? Oh, came a soft voice, one that was too soft to have been Satome's. Confused, Tatewaki got up and walked over to the curtain, sliding it open. He was about to demand an explanation, only to stop flat at what he saw. There was a woman before him! And she was tall and elegant and beautiful, and he found his jaw hanging open, but he couldn't quite find the urge to close it. So now you're sexualizing trans people, author. Shame on you.
Yes. Tall with wide shoulders and narrow hips and large hands and feet and an Adam's apple and a square jaw.
Yeah, but you forget he's Japanese, so he already looked like a woman.
Yeah. No, it's in the type of Japanese we're talking about, but yes.
I know. I look cute, she said, voice getting a little louder, a little more clearly. Satome's voice, like what you're saying is she wasn't able to pass. Tatewaki suddenly realized he was the first man to ever see her beauty.
Excuse me?
The first to have his heart skip a beat at her smile. And how it skipped for such a smile, as beautiful as the pig-tailed goddess Hurricanes. Thanks, Kuno, Satome said. That was definitely Satome Ranma. The casually and overly familiar tone. Only the pig-tailed goddess had matched that same wild behavior. Shut the fuck up, sign!
What in the actual fuck?
Which he found so irritating in a man, yet charming in a girl, and Satome Ranma was a girl. How is he supposed to react to this realization that just putting on some makeup and a dress made you a girl?
Oh.
It's not how that works.
Oh.
Panic seemed reasonable, so he shoved a wad of cash in the hands of the nearest store attendant and hurried out of the store. Ranma blinked. Kuno had just blushed and then ran away. It was certainly a confidence boost to know that she could do that to a boy in her birth form.
See, that's the problem with Ranma. The locking ladle exists, as does the string of drowned girl and lots of other girl transformation springs. So at this point, he should just go to fucking China, ask to borrow the damn thing, and be done with it. Period. None of this bullshit fucking about with, well, I'm really a girl, but I'm stuck in my birth form.
Well, I mean, normally, what I've seen a lot of the Ranma stories of this variety is it's like, oh, well, actually, the cursed form is actually her real form, and the boy form is the real curse that was placed on her when she was a child, by usually either Hapozai unknowingly or Hapozai knowingly, or Genma and what's his face, his partner in crime, Son.
Okay, so that's completely out of character for Happosai 1 because that would mean no titties, and Happosai loves titties.
Yes, this is
It's
true.
actually completely in character for Genma if he wanted a son, sure, and those stories where they actually play that angle work, but that's
Sort
not
of, yeah. Yeah.
Sort of.
I mean, yeah, it gets very complicated, I've seen, because you have to, like, juggle how all of these magic items, when they're supposed to lock you in your cursed form, or lock him as a girl instead, and so they're like, oh, well, actually, the curse tricked all of the magic to make my birth form the fake one.
That's not how it works, you fucking moron.
I mean, look, the magic in Ranma 1/2 is quite literally ass-polium.
Yes, but it does have rules, except when it doesn't, and except when they violate each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Which means the universe literally works by whatever Rumiko thinks is funny at this exact moment.
Pretty much, yes. And now, admittedly, I've also seen some absolutely hilarious ones, like it was a Ranma 1/2 story in where he decided to stay as a girl. Not because he actually felt like he was a girl, but because this is Japan crossing over. It was a mass crossover, air quotes, with every other magical girl series at that time. So it's like none of the modern ones. It was all the ones from like the 80s and 90s. And Japan's reaction to all of these magical girls existing was to create a school for correctional behavior for magical girls so they would stop having so much property damage.
Really
That's understandable.
And because of this, the person in charge of the facility went mad with power and decided to start brainwashing all the magical girls into becoming a private army, and then started kidnapping people who had the potential to be magical girls, turning them into magical girls, and then brainwashing them to build their army. And Ranma got caught up in all of this, and they were using some sort of like cute sweetness magic.
Where... Oh, you're talking about Hageki, yeah.
Yeah, that was actually really fucking good, and like the reason why he ended up staying as a girl is because he went through this whole fucking brainwash thing, where he like forgot he was a guy for a while and became a magical girl, and honestly, it was just like curveball after curveball, and I was there for all of it.
I never read the whole thing. I only read the first couple of chapters. I keep meaning to go back to it.
Honestly, you should. It was a great story. Like, nothing that I've said spoils any of it. It's great.
Yeah, I'll add that to the list. God damn it.
Are there any magical abilities that turn you into a war crime in Serbia? Tanya would know.
Yes.
Real and true.
Unfortunately, she knew reality was going to hit after this. Her parents could not find out about this. She wasn't going to lose these clothes, though. Kuno had paid for them, and she looked dang good in them. She just had to remember how to do her makeup like this. I mean, I don't know why you're even saying that, author. It's Ranma. If they saw it one time, they can replicate it. Martial art makeup kit. I don't know.
That is actually a martial art Ramanos.
Yeah.
Canonically.
Yeah. So there we go.
Like, this story shouldn't have even happened if this is set anywhere after the midpoint of canon, because, yeah, that's a thing Ranma already knows how to do and does frequently.
Yeah. I mean, see, that's always the other irritating issue, and why I call them air quotes fans, because they ignore the two cross-dressers, which are way easier transing targets than Ranma.
Because they want to do it to Ranma.
Well, duh, because that's what gets the clicks.
Yep.
Also, there's that whole fantasy about actually turning into a girl, and, all that,
Yeah, that.
Yeah. So you have Ranma as that target, but I call them air quotes fans because it's they don't know half the shit that happened in Ranma. That's if you actually knew what happened in Ranma, you could explain and get away with so much more that you want to include in your story. But it's sort of you know what it is? I'll explain this to everyone who knows Tanya in the room. Because, yes, it's like someone writing a Tanya story and then coming up with another device that can store mana and allow her to cast for longer.
But there's already canonically several of them, in fact.
Yeah, I know, that's the point.
I know, I was pointing that out.
Yeah. It's just you are literally inventing shit that you don't have to. You're reinventing the wheel because you didn't realize wheels were already existing, even though you see everyone driving around in a car.
Yeah, that's because these authors have an idea. They think, "Oh my god, this is such a great idea! I have to get it out on paper."
I'm so
and
clever.
They shit out this terrible idea.
Yeah, I'm so fucking clever. Look at me be so clever.
Exactly, and then when you point out that canon exists, it's why are you attacking me? My idea has merit.
Yeah. Also, I'm gonna post this into your section now. Fiction discussion.